All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Talk podcast, nerdy talk for nerdy fans. I'm your host, Remington Keyes, and we got Disney legend in the house, Kamil McFadden.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Well, my name is Kamil McFadden, actor, voice actor. I was in Casey Undercover, Grown Ups 2, Marvel Rising, Secret Warriors, um, Page Birds as well, which is a few of my credits that I've been able to obtain and acquire over the course of almost a 20-year career.
That's awesome. I've been in the industry, but I'm not as successful as you are. I've
Yeah.
done a couple Disney pilots, and I
Okay.
and I did a movie with David Spade.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm in there, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You're like deep. You're like
Nah,
legend
man,
status.
listen, it's all about just perseverance, and
Yeah,
dedication. That's all I can attribute it to. I'm no more or less talented than the next person, The thing that really shows is how bad you want it. How many opportunity, how many times are you gonna have an opportunity and they say no and you still keep going?
absolutely. Now, my nieces and nephews used to watch you on Casey Undercover, and
Mhm.
I was kind of introduced to you through Grown Ups, those
Yep.
movies.
Yep.
Um, and you began acting at a very young age. What motivated you to like start so early?
Honestly, God, for real. If I'm being honest, at that young of an age, it's very rare for you to really know what you are meant to do.
Mhm.
And that's what it felt like. My mom moved me to Atlanta from Michigan when I was a baby, and she put me in a homeschool program that turned into an after school program.
Oh
But
yeah.
while the homeschool program, um, we would perform at local grocery stores. She taught us about Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and we would have performances based on that as well too. And that is where I had an opportunity to really, see how I withstood being in front of people, crowds of people. And it was something that never was scary at all. It was something that I actually leaned into. I really enjoyed, making people laugh, making people smile, clapping, and as I got older, I realized what my purpose actually was. But it started from the beginning, and it's not me at all, nothing but God.
Um, would you say Casey Undercover was a breakout role for you, or more like Grown Ups too?
I would definitely say Casey Undercover was more of a breakout role because people got to live with me for a longer amount of time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Grown Ups 2 came out in 2012, and it has its run in the movie theaters, and then it's kind of done. With the TV show every season. People are
Right.
tuning in, and the seasons can last for 4, 6 months, however long.
Hey, and Raven's Home came. You might get a
It came
reboot.
around the same time as well too. So I would definitely say the breakout role and where I got the most visibility was definitely Casey Undercover.
How did this experience kind of shape your career and personal life? You said you were homeschooled, so it didn't really change the schooling part, but you know,
Yeah. So the homeschooling, I was brick and mortar from first through fifth grade, and
mhm.
then every grade after that was homeschool. So Casey Undercover had a humongous impact on my life because that's a very pivotal time. I got on the show when I was a junior in high school.
Oh
So I was
wow.
about 16, 17 when I
Mhm.
started playing 13, 14. So it was a huge part of my life because at that time, this is where your main development comes, your identity in yourself, your friend groups and things of that nature. So it was a huge part of my life. It really had a major impact. Being on that set was incredible. One of the best sets that I've ever been on, hands down. It was such a family atmosphere. We had tons of fun, and you don't really see that many shows with an all black cast, or
Oh, right.
mostly black cast.
Or should I say a positive black cast?
Yes, yes.
Because
Right.
This was
Specifically, I'm speaking of Disney. You know, Disney
yeah,
didn't have an all-black cast prior to KC Undercover. I think the last one was Corey in the House.
right,
You know, and I think that might have been like 2008, 2009. So it was quite a bit of time that we didn't see a black family, a
right.
live action black family, you know.
And a positive where like
And
a
a
kid,
positive, yes.
yeah.
Yes, most definitely. So, I think that that is something that can't go unnoticed as well too. And people would come up to me and tell me that all the time. So it was huge. I think the way that it introduced me to the world still has those lasting effects now. Like even to this day, I went to a convention last month, and few people, it's a younger convention, so like
Mhm.
I'd probably say the age range is 18 to 24.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people come up to me and be like, hey, you were my childhood. And I don't think I ever really understood the gravity of the show that I was a part of while it was on. It's like,
Right.
oh no, you're doing it, but it's almost been 10 years since it premiered.
Wow.
So that's a long,
Long.
long time. But like I said, it really shaped and molded me into the person that I am today. I wouldn't be where I am without it. And, you know, it was just a blessing. I'm super, super beyond grateful to have been a part of that project.
Are there any aspects of your personality that you brought to the table when playing Ernie? Like what specifically about you do you think that you kind of added to his character?
I think I one thing that I will say for sure is his ability to never give up. I
Mhm.
think that's something that has was instilled in me at a very young age. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people recognized and always commented about when they saw me. They were like, man, I love you. You know, you're such an underdog. Like, we're always rooting for you. And I feel like that has been true in my personal life as well, too. Definitely goofy, and the level of intelligence that he had, not as far as, you know, hacking into mainframes and stuff like that. Don't know how to do that. But he was intelligent, you know, in school, and really he gave his best effort. And I think those are the qualities that reflect me as well.
Has your career evolved since Casey Undercover? And what kind of projects are you most proud of being a part of?
So yes, I 1,000% feel that I've evolved and my career has evolved since KC Undercover. One of the projects that I'm most proud of that I've done in recent time was a short film called Somebody, and it deals with mental health. And you know, that is something that isn't really talked about that much, especially in the Black community. So to be a part of that project, it was a very timely project for me as well too, you know, because one thing that people don't maybe understand or realize is that after you get on a show like Casey Undercover, you know, sometimes you ride that high and you ride that wave into the next project like Zendaya did, you know,
Mhm.
with Euphoria and in Spider-Man. But then you have those other people whose journey may not be as smooth, you know. But that doesn't mean that that opportunity won't come again. So I'm kind of in that in I'll call it an in-between phase. I'm really just in my personal life, getting things together, you know, going to the gym, keeping my mental health intact, because I think that's ultra important, especially being in this industry where again you get told no so many times that you really have to have a almost impenetrable mindset,
Mhm.
and amount of self-worth that being told no doesn't absolutely crush or destroy you. So those are the things that I've been working on in the meantime. And I'm also working on my own projects, short films, TV shows. I've gotten with some people, writers, directors, producers, and I'm just focused on really building up and building out my network, so that I don't have to wait on those opportunities anymore. I
Right.
can create them myself.
Hey, and that's great because that's why I started writing books. I used to write like scripts and stuff and sell
Uh-huh.
scripts, but I was like, these people are just buying up my scripts just to not make them. It's just so somebody
Yeah,
else can't make it. So that
yeah,
yeah, I totally get it.
yeah.
And you've done voice work too. How does the voice acting compare to your live action roles?
The voice acting is, I will say, it's easier as far as the time frame. You know, you
Mhm.
got live action because there's so many different moving parts. You may be there 8 hours, you know,
Right.
with voiceover, you got a 2-3 hour session and you're done, possibly for the season. So that is one of the absolute benefits of voice acting. But one of the challenges is they can't see you. So every emotion that you're trying to evoke has to be done with your voice. And that can present different challenges as well too. But I'm always up for the task.
And I read that you got a passion for photography too. How'd you kind of get into that?
You know, being an actor, you're always going to be in front of the camera. But one thing that I have noticed is that I have a keen sense of curiosity.
Right.
So being in front of the camera for so long, you're like, I actually never paid attention to this camera. So then you start asking, what kind of camera is this? What kind of lens is this? And then as they're showing you the pictures, you're seeing the what they call the depth of field and things of that nature. So it's like you start to pick up on these little terms from what you've seen and just by asking questions. And I think that's where the passion for me grew, because it's like, oh, I really enjoy capturing these images. And photography to me is a way to freeze moments in time, and you can go
Right.
back and feel that moment. Similar to music, it's like you sometimes you remember that summer that you had from one song or one album that you ran that whole time. It just floods you back with memories, and I feel like the same way with photography. So that's something that really spoke to me, and I decided to investigate.
And I've seen a couple interviews from you, and you've mentioned before that it's really important for you to give back to the community. How has your cultural heritage influenced you giving back to the community?
I would definitely say, just the way that I was raised. My mom taught me family is everything, and also
Right.
knowledge is power, and it doesn't cost to share that. So, whether I'm giving back book bags or I'm there to speak about my experiences as an actor to help upcoming actors as well on their journey as they begin their journey or as they continue their journey.
Right.
That's what I care about. I care about those that come after me, because I also feel like being on this earth, you only have a set amount of time. And the greatest way to make impact is information. The information that you share and that you leave behind that can impact generations after you. I think Tupac said that best. So that is something that always played in my mind. I think when you think about life and society, sometimes that scarcity mindset is pushed a lot, and I don't believe that to be true. So giving back, it's like a way to kind of reverse what we've been taught to think about life. Like it's nothing to spend some time in the community where I grew up. That made me who I am. I never want to forget my roots, and that's something that my mom always taught me.
That's awesome. I know you did work for Marvel. Was that a dream project for you to do that, or
Most definitely, most definitely. I would love to transition to live action as well, but I'm glad to have checked that off of my list. And even the way that came was, um, man, it was ordained. It felt like, they reached out to me, and was like,
wow?
"Hey, we're interested. We're doing this. Would he like to read?" I told my team, I said, "Absolutely, like no question about it."
Yeah, you
And
don't even have to ask.
Captain America is a character that I love, so to be able to play his protege,
Mhm.
Rayshawn Lucas, Patriot, is awesome. I was like, man, so honored. They had a doll that was
Wow.
released at Target, which is super cool. So I have an action figure as well.
Gives
So
you
it's like
stuff to sign at conventions.
yeah, like, and even the convention space was so cool. I had seen it on TV and on YouTube, but to actually go and experience it was great. And to be a part of another community is just incredible.
Now, off topic, did you guys get to go to a or not Holly, like San Diego for
Yes,
Casey Undercover?
yes. San Diego, no, not for Casey Undercover.
Oh,
Only
but
for
for the Marvel
um
stuff, right?
only for Marvel. Yep, it was
Okay,
it was San Diego and it was New York.
okay.
Yep.
And we had a fan write in a question.
Okay.
This is from Diane T. If
Okay.
you did a show right now, what would it be called? What would you start? What would you who would you be in it, and would you want to produce or direct it?
Ooh.
And this could be a dream project. This could
Okay.
be anything you might be working on. This is like,
Okay, okay, okay.
you know,
Ooh. Okay, so I say this all the time. Dream role, if they ever did a reboot, reimagination, or a prequel to Bad Boys, I'd love to be a part of that. Either Mike Lowry or Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Either one, it don't matter.
right.
But that series really impacted me because Will Smith is one of my favorite actors. I love the way that his career has gone, him being able to flow effortlessly between dramatic and comedic roles. And I feel like that's something that's in my wheelhouse as well. I have that ability also. So to be a part of a project like that would be so incredible. I would be so honored, and I know that I would do it justice.
Now, when Urkel came in and
Mhm.
was talking about like his past, how he doesn't want to be like known as Urkel and stuff, do you get the same kind of backlash when it comes to playing Ernie from Casey Undercover, or did you get a lot of love from people?
I got nothing but love, honestly. I got nothing but love from the fans, the community. I don't think anybody ever said anything bad about Ernie. And if they did, I didn't see it or I just blocked it out. I don't know, one of the two. But no, my experience playing Ernie was great. Like I said, a lot of people were very welcoming of me, me being a newer face to the channel. And one of the main things that I always got was that I was a lot of people's favorite characters.
That's
People would
awesome.
even go up to Zendaya, because me and her, we built our relationship. We became like brother and sister, like Ernie and Casey. And, there would be moments where she would go out of the country or whatever, and she'd come back and she'd tell me, like, hey, people stop me and they ask where you are. They tell me that you're their favorite character. So
That's gonna
she
be such an
always
honor.
yeah, so she always kind of shared my impact on the show as well too. We were the 1-2 punch of the show. When she wasn't the focus for a storyline, I was that next person up to kind of like carry when she wasn't on screen. So she always kind of instilled that in me as well. So the love that I got was great. I think the one thing that I have battled in recent years is just the separation,
Yeah,
from it's not that I don't want to be called that, it's just that I'm not in that same place that I was at that time. And, as an audience member, sometimes it can be difficult to understand that and be able to separate the character because you live with this person for however many years. But you do have to know that, that time of being Ernie is over. So,
right.
like, when you see me now, I'll respond to, hey, Ernie, or hey, were you this person? But a lot of people, they really they call me by my name actually. So
Well, here's the thing I'll say about that. You've done enough versatile roles where
yeah,
that I don't think you'll have that problem for very long. You've
yeah,
done Grown Ups, you've done Marvel,
yeah,
you've done a bunch of different stuff that can separate you. I probably would more recognize you for Grown Ups than I would,
yeah, yeah.
Casey Undercover.
And when people approach me and they talk about grown-ups too, I always have like so much more respect for them. Not that I don't have respect for the people who know me from KC. It just shows me that you've been a fan for a longer amount of time.
Right.
Because that's not an easy thing to that's not something that happens often, that people be like, were you bumpty? That's like a deep cut.
Right.
So to be knowledgeable of that, it's like, okay, you're not a new fan, you've been here for some time.
And where do you see your career going in the next couple of years? Or anything you're kind of aiming for? Are you waiting for certain companies to call? Like, Please
Nah,
go.
like I said earlier, I'm definitely in the space now where I'm focused on creating my own opportunities. So moving into writing, directing, producing. There's a project that I did called Cage Birds, which I mentioned earlier. It's on Amazon Prime and Tubi. You can go watch it now. I starred in it and I also co-produced it as well too. So just getting in those rooms and those spaces and those places to be able to control my own narrative and my own opportunity. So that is where I see myself being very similar to like a Issa Rae, a Quinta Brunson, a Childish Gambino. Like those are the type of careers that I would like to model mine after, as far as their fluidity through multiple mediums.
I could definitely see you like going towards like drama and stuff like that. I could
Yeah,
definitely see you kind of leaning towards that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Cage Birds is a drama, so if you haven't, you should check it out. Yeah, I think it's a really dope project, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it.
what advice I ask everybody I get on this show? What advice do you give to young people who want to be in your position, who want to do what you do? What kind of tips can you add that maybe that helped you out, or maybe that you think hasn't been said?
First thing I always say, this industry is not an easy industry by any means to be a part of. So first and foremost, I would say make sure that you love it. You know, if
Mhm.
it's not something that you love, if you're doing it for other motives, like, to get your family out of, financial situations and things of that nature, you're in it for the wrong reasons, and you probably won't last that long. The only thing that's kept me in this industry for this amount of time is because I love it. It's a passion of mine. It's part of my purpose as well too. So one, definitely make sure that you love it. Two, know that it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of perseverance. There was a lot of times that I could not go to sleepovers. I couldn't go to, summer camp. I couldn't go to Six Flags and all of these amusement parks and like have that normal regular kid life. I didn't go to middle school or high school, and that's something that some people may not be able to hang with. That may not really align with them at that time. um I didn't go to college either, and some people want to experience that. So you have to know where your boundaries are, and then know how to maneuver through those. The third thing I would say is make sure that you have a support system. Make sure you have people there that can help encourage you and motivate you. Cause like I said, it's very tough in this industry. You got a lot more no's than you have yeses. And when you have those yeses, you have to capitalize on those. So, you need that support system to take you to auditions and to continue to encourage you, when those times where you're feeling down, where you feel like, maybe I should quit, maybe I should give up. You need people in your corner to be like, no, you got this. We believe in you, whatever you need. Because I wouldn't be where I am without my support system, without my mom, without my grandma, my grandpa, my dad, my brother. I wouldn't be where I am at all. So, you need to have that core support system. And they will really be a catalyst for you at times,
Mhm.
whether you know it or not. They will help push you to that next level, when you need it most, for real. So
Right.
those are really my top three tips.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to have you on the show.
I appreciate
Uh,
it.
it's really an honor. If you could please just let us, the fans, know where they can find you on social media, anything coming out, and plug your stuff.
Cool. You can find me on YouTube, Kamil McFadden, Twitter, Kamil_McFadden, Instagram is the same as Twitter, Kamil_McFadden. My TikTok, I believe, is Camille Rock, or it
Okay.
might be Kamil_McFadden. If you type one of those two in, you should find me. I have Discord as well. My website, www.CamilRemcFadden, KamilRemcFadden.com. I got some stuff that is coming up that I'm working on. So if anything, refer to the website. The website has all of my links. And you know, I'll keep you up to date on all of the other stuff that is coming in the near future.
Hey, and thank you guys for watching. Until next time, been your host, Remington Keyes, signing out.